What's up? What's up? It's time for Done Way Past Funny with your host, G.D. Fenderson. Join us as we take a look back at the early works of seasoned comedians before they were seasoned with this week's guest, Alice Croydon. It's time to get down and get dope with Done Way Past Funny. Hi, welcome to Done Way Past Funny, where we look at the work of seasoned comedians before they were seasoned. I am your host, G.D. Fenderson, certified forensic humorist at large, but I'm losing weight. Joining me is comedian, actress, Alice Croydon. How's it going?
Nelson Mandela, it's going, man. I'm just trying to flow with it. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
Hi, everybody. Hi, GD's fans. It's nice to be here.
Now, in all fairness, people
Yes?
watching this later will probably be your fans and not mine.
Okay, I'm here to take them all.
I have two fans, I think. And one of so, if you don't mind,
you have two fans, but you're on 3 channels.
Oh yes,
That's excellent.
That lets you know that they're not watching everything.
Well, I am. I love your work. So
thank you.
How's my audio coming in? Is it too loud?
No, you're great. You're great.
Okay, wonderful. Then I'll keep this volume.
Yeah.
All right.
If you don't mind letting people know a little bit about yourself.
No, I don't mind at all. Thanks for the invitation.
You know, how long you've been doing comedy, where you're from, and how they can stalk you on social media if you want them to stalk you on social media.
Oh, golly. More stalkers. How exciting. Hi, my name is Elizabeth Alice Croydon, spelled like the suburb in London. And I've been doing comedy, I count, since 1993 with the Church of the Subgenius and the Reverend Ivan Stang.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been in theater all my life, really. It was archaeology or theater because I wanted to study ancient myths. And theater won out because I learned that I could study the ancient gods and not have to learn math. I really wasn't good at math. And archaeologists have to deal with all this math. They have to get all these shots. I'm afraid of needles. Actors don't, yes, I got vaccinated, but I don't want to go to like a third world country and get vaccinated for,
malaria
or something else that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So I started studying the theater in the 3rd grade, and I also started studying Robin Williams in the 3rd grade. I had the Mort from Orc suspenders.
Okay.
Nanu. I gotta practice that. I'm getting old. And I went to Duke Ellington School for the Arts, which was a priceless education. Actually, I paid an out-of-state fee, so it was a pricey education for me. But no, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. Dave Chappelle was a year younger than me.
Cool.
I'd just like to be close enough to come within his tax bracket with my art.
That's a goal.
Yeah, it is. And so is including my friends on my journey. I don't just do stand-up comedy. I'm a published writer. I like to improvise jazz lyrics. But more importantly, I fell in love with artists during my time at Duke. And I looked at filmmaking, movie making as an art. And I said, well, here is the dream. It includes everyone and everything.
Right.
And I want to be a rock for artists to stand on. So my first no budget movie is called Washington Interns Gone Bad. That got a little bit of press and angered Senator Rick Santorum. God bless. And it won some awards and got me over to Germany for some film fests. And then I made some more movies within the industry and headed out to the Comedy Store in LA, which was just as impactful as the Duke Ellington experience. Only I was in Pauly Shore's turf, on Pauly's little lily pad
Right.
punchlines. And then I made a little $250,000 movie with all of my friends called Underbelly Blues.
2011.
Say that again?
2011.
Thank you. Yes.
Was it Ben Tarantino producer? Was it Ben
yes,
Tarantino?
It was Tony Tarantino.
Tony Tarantino, sorry.
Producer.
Tony Tarantino, producer, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, Quentin's dad produced it.
Right. I'm sorry, Ben Green, was it Bob Green was an actor in it?
Andrew Green.
Andrew Green. Okay,
yes,
I forget.
Andrew Green is an actor in that movie. And
right.
I play Madam X, a Jewish mother dominatrix.
Right. Yes.
I love Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks influenced my life tremendously. And I love Stan Freberg. And I love Paul Mooney. And I'm born on the same day as Baba Dick Gregory.
Oh, no, I did know him. I did know him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool. I bet you and Dick Gregory got along very, very well.
I was a teenager when I knew him, but I wasn't doing comedy, and he thought I was funny and smart. I was just his valet. I was a valet at he was at a conference, and we were, all of us young teenagers, we were each of the guests were assigned a valet, and I was his.
Oh, how lucky.
I was lucky because I could have been stuck with Jesse Jackson or
high maintenance.
Yeah, yes. Or Andrew Young.
Andrew Young or Andrew Yang?
Young.
Okay, I don't know Andrew Young.
I think he was a politician out of Georgia at the time.
Politicians, and, they're so slippery.
Nikki Giovanni, I think.
Oh, Nikki the poet.
Yes.
I love Nikki Giovanni the poet.
Yeah.
Her and the late Natazaki Shangi. I hope I'm saying her name correctly, because I would skip school at Ellington, math class, of course.
Right.
And I would go to the Dunbar and Oates library, and I would read Natazaki Shangi. I would read everything that I could get my hands on by her. And of course, all the girls at Duke Ellington were doing the For Colored Girls Who've Considered Suicide When the Rainbow Wasn't Enough. I have shivers remembering that. And I'd read E.E. Cummings. Ugh, love the Cummings.
Yes.
And the Goings. Gigi Goings. That's my new alter ego I invented here. Gigi Goings. Oh, and this is my prop, my disco UFO for my latest.
I'm not going to lie to you. I saw a glimpse of that in the back, and I really thought you had a vintage Jiffy Pop popcorn thing going on in the background.
It's my prop for my newest movie that I'm working on finishing, knock on computer, called Dimebag Western. We began it at the pandemic, and we're in the middle of shooting it. I wish it was like, I don't know, all of a sudden I want to channel Parliament.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We want the funk. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, getting hot in here. We're singing funk. All right.
Yes.
Amen, women, Americans.
Now that's in the video.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the video that you sent me.
Must be a slogan of mine.
Well, as far as well, first of all, well, I'm trying to think of the order of
Yeah,
this
go
now.
for it.
Okay, your comedy styling is very frenetic, very fast paced, and sometimes, on occasion, and I don't know if this is by plan or not, you'll you'll say like you may have like in a 10-second span hit like maybe two or three what I'm going to say are punchlines or taglines, but it's real fast and you don't give the audience time to laugh sometimes. It's just like you hit it, bam, bam, bam.
You
They're
know,
funny.
I'm working on that. It's so true. Now, I'm I'm suffering that right now because I'm working on hours of material,
Yes.
and I'm getting old. um, so with the getting old part, very helpful, helping me slow down. But I still talk like a wrestler. I get very excited, and also I'm working on my intimate voice, the actual voice that I use to speak with people in my life. I think that the voice I first developed on stage
Right.
I know it is. It's designed to protect my tits. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's designed to protect my double D's because my actual voice is so soft that you have to come in and listen to me. And
Okay.
and so there's that, and one of the things that people will notice about my work is that I love making fun of my own anger and other people's anger. And it's an easy go-to, but now I have this whole spectrum
Yeah.
of the voice. But
Yeah.
I still, as a woman, my acting teachers would be like, how what how does your character lead? Do they lead with their head? Do they lead with their nose? Do they lead with their chin? And what does that say about them? And I've seen my breasts and my peripheral vision for since I was 14, 15.
Right.
And no one told me I was leading with my tits, and I wish they had.
And was that
Andrew Dice Clay pointed out that I really don't have to be the loudmouth bizotch that I am because my tits are a natural mint and gold mine. Very flattering. Uh, I'm shy, and when you have seen me, I mean, when there's an hour of time, I can get everything in. But if I am working out for 10 minutes of time,
yes.
uh, unless I'm being paid, I am working out for myself. And so
Right.
I will go machine gun style because what I'm doing is employing my memory. And I'm saying all of this stuff out loud to go bullet point, remember that, Liz. Bullet point, remember that. Bullet point, remember that. Bullet point, remember that.
Right.
And so I'm sorry if I'm fast.
Oh, now I was just wondering where it came from because and now I now that when you say it that way, it makes sense to me because when I do like when I do an I like to do 90-minute shows. And then
Wow.
when I do 90 minutes, that's my pace. I can be as slow or as fast as I want to because I know some of the things I say are going to be a tad erudite and I can slow them down so that people can actually be led up to that gotcha, and then I but when I'm asked to do short stints, I can't do I can do funny stuff, but I can't do the stuff I really love.
Right. Like I've got my tight five. If I'm being paid or I'm booked at a club and they're like, give me a tight five, I've got my tight five.
Right.
And I still like to rapid fire it because I like to take the audience on a journey that they've maybe never thought about before.
Right.
But I'm working on taking my time and savoring myself in the process just for the pleasure of it. Why not get some pleasure out of the art that I love? But also in the rapid fire, I like to hit hard and fast. I believe and I practice American Buddhism with the Muhammad Ali Lama.
Okay.
And sometimes you gotta fight for your right to party. So God bless the Muhammad Ali Lama. You know, there are more
Yeah.
llamas than the Dalai Lama. There's like the Barbie Dalai Lama.
Of
There's like
course. Yeah.
because beauty is a weapon and it's also a peacemaker. Like, I don't want to meet the woman who launched 1,000 warships. I want to meet the love goddess that inspired 1,000 peace treaties because that's really what we need, you know. And then I get a little weird sometimes. So I'm also a student of the Salvador Dalai Lama, who is
Now,
whose other
what?
name is Surreal. When he was
Now, if you met the woman who launched or inspired 1,000 peace treaties, chances are you probably meet the man who broke them all. So,
oh my ex-boyfriends.
no.
Kidding. I love my ex-boyfriends. I usually wind up friends.
Now, since we're talking about your style of comedy, I'm going to play the first clip. Well, this is all one continuous clip, but the first 2.5 minutes of it, and then we can talk about, just so people have an idea, because we're talking
Yeah,
about
can
your
I
style.
preface what this show is?
Yes.
Okay. I picked this clip. I would have picked something earlier in my career to impress you, if that was the case. But I picked this clip because I love this show, and you know me from open mics. I love open mics, and this mic is called Not Ripe Bananas. For those of you who do not know the comedy terms, a banana would be a writer in the writer's room. So when you hear Milton Berle sing, if you want to be a top banana, you got to start at the bottom of the bunch. I suggest you read Mel Brooks' autobiography about being those bananas.
Right.
And Adam Gable and DJ Collins host this, and it's from 6 to 8. The lineup comics meet and they write together and improve each other's jokes. And then they break out brand new material, like, and it's raw and it's not ripe, and you might fail. And I love it because I love new material.
Right.
And Adam Gable is one of the most talented, dedicated comedians that I have met. He also works, he works at CNN, and he's got the comedy album out. And you got to look up Adam Gable. I think he is genius, and he's not only genius in his comedy because he's a devoted joke writer.
Right.
My writing comes from the premise and the message. What do I want to communicate?
Right.
And this is a great premise, and I can make this funny, but it's not really a joke.
Right.
Gable's got joke books galore. He opened for me at the Church of Satire in the fall, and I mean, he never stops writing jokes. I'm still laughing at a trickle-down economic fountain joke that he made in the Airbnb I got us all. I had his girlfriend, his lovely lady, Kelly Zemnikis, come out and tell her jokes as well. She's out of Canada and just a lovely woman. Oh my goddess. I don't get to see her as much as I see her man hunk. She's in Canada primarily, but she comes down to New York, and it was a joy to share the house with them.
Right.
Anyway, so this Adam, oh, and DJ Collins, awesome dude, bro. Compassionate, witty, quiet, subdued, so respectful to new kids on the block. I can't say enough about this club. This club is West Side Comedy Club.
Okay.
It's owned by Felicia Madison, who is one of the greatest talent cultivators and compassionate people I know. She hosted my fundraiser for the Equal Rights Amendment and for myself because the government was prosecuting me as an insurrectionist after
Wow.
interrupting Ted Cruz from the Senate gallery, and she made certain that I met my community service standards and and never let go of the project. And I was handling a court case. The government officially calls me arrogant and defiant. So I've nicknamed my boobs arrogant and defiant. But I mean, and Felicia does a comedy that I do not. She rides a very understood. I mean, who doesn't understand being a mom?
Right.
And it's based on her life. And it's not comedy that I always enjoy, because everyone goes for that sitcom common denominator. We all do laundry. We all raise children. Here's another thing. But Felicia is so funny, and she's so authentic. And I love her so much that I can't wait till she has her sitcom regarding life as a mom, which spelled upside down is wow, and her club is wow. And she cultivated Adam Gable and Kelly, and during the pandemic, she was having people to her home to continue the dreams.
Right.
And she succeeded in becoming manager of the West Side Comedy Club. And some people always give her problems for, bringer shows and stuff. But, the comic needs an audience. You need to learn how to develop an audience.
Right.
And, Felicia fought for this club's life. So, heck yeah, bringer shows. And it's, new comics will always want to jump from the open mic to a paid gig. And you don't get paid gigs. You don't get the good paid gigs unless you build an audience.
Right.
So you do those bringer shows and you don't complain. That's an opportunity. And if you don't understand the opportunity, what's really being taught, well, I'm teaching you right now. 4 eyes on the prize. So professional comics come out to Adam's show. It's free to the Upper West Side. It's one of the best Upper West Side secrets in New York City. This show does not have a purchase minimum. You can just go and suck down ice water if you want, but you need to listen to these unripe bananas.
Gotcha.
And you need to we're trying to solicit your honest opinion. And sometimes we bomb and sometimes we don't. And either way, we hope we float the still funny or done way past funny line.
So this is at West Side Comedy Club. And
in New York City, you can go to westsidecomedyclub.com. It's Not Ripe Bananas. And it's Adam Gable and DJ Collins' creation under the orchestration of Ms. Felicia Madison.
All right. Let's hit play.
I saw a New York midget rushing on my way here after the bus stop. Man, you thought a New York minute was fast. Wait till you see a New York midget. It was over in a New York midget. What? Not politically correct. Shut up. I'm politically erect. This is hard, people. Really, really hard. And I'm not afraid to jerk. All right. Speaking of jerks, you should have seen my bus buddy on the way up here. We're talking, okay, boomer, loud Mary. Let's just say Rod Stewart haircut was ready to, she's rocking and rolling. She's starting in New York. She's going across the country. Told me about breaking out her mother at 100 years old from the old people's home. Mandela. Nelson Mandela, that is, because I'm tired of saying Jesus fucking Christ. There are other cool people out there. Nelson Mandela, all right? All right? Amen, A-women, A-Americans, right? Where was I? I was on new material, and this is what happens when I go on a digression, but I brought my book. I brought my fucking book, and I'm lost in my book because I went off book. Oh, my bus buddy. Oh, I was hostage. Cigarette smell on her skin, my nose burned, but there she was telling great stories cool. My peers were cool for having kids. I don't have kids. Fuck y'all. Wash the placenta off your own goddamn face. But my Gen X friends are cool for having kids, right? Oh no, au contraire. When we formed the gang to take down the senior citizen scam homes, motherfucker, don't you forget about me or my mom, motherfuckers! I tagged this whole fucking wall with graffiti, bitch! Rips off old people! Sit on it, eh? That's a Fonzie reference. Write it down, kid. Look it up. Look it fucking up.
As you can see, I naturally grift toward rated G comedy.
Yeah, I was about to say you probably that's natural corporate material right there.
Oh, yes. Well, wash my mouth out with soap before my corporate gigs. But
Yeah. Of course, there will be a soap that will actually sponsor. You're not
yes.
a soap that a
Dr.
sponsor.
Bronner's.
Yes. Or even something simple like Tom's from Maine.
Oh, I
Something
love
wholesome.
Tom's from Maine. And
Yes.
and there's Myers. I like Myers soap
Yes.
right now. I got that. Ooh.
Yes. So that's not ripe bananas.
Yes, it is.
Now, like I said, it's you're completely for that. Now, one of the things I noticed now, because when you're doing a regular set, you don't have your book in your hand, so you hold the mic on your hand, or you always keep your hands free.
It depends on how I feel. I do like to roam, so usually I'll take the mic out of the stand. But
Right.
the book is in my hand, and that's a real issue for me. Like it's very contrary. Now, Sylvia Traymore Morrison, who happens to also be a beauty queen. Look, if you don't know who GD and I are referring to, she's a Washingtonian, just like us, in the greater DC area. But Sylvia Traymore Morrison blazed trails for every woman in comedy. She was the first Black female impressionist. She was the first woman writer on SNL. And Mandela, she was not paid equally.
No.
I want her in all my movies because I want her to be paid equally. And she roasted Muhammad Ali. So she's, technically an American Dakini, which is a Tibetan term for a divine, feminine, enlightened presence. And she pointed out to me when I was opening up, thanks to Christina Payne for hiring me at the Ben's Upstairs, which was a chain from Ben's Chili Dog. She said, Elizabeth, you are genius. You need to take your time and you need to let people watch you. People like to watch you. And looking down at my book and going, oh, here's the next joke. Da 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 da. Very uncomfortable for me. I've done a lot of radio, and because I've been in show business for so long,
right?
And I started young, I'm a trained little monkey with the symbols. No dead air. No dead air. Keep it. Oh, wait, there's not 3 whole seconds of dead air? You can't tell me that's timing. I need some live air. I need real live air. I need some dancing oxygen up my nose.
So now,
so I had the book because I usually I probably could have done, like, the last time I was there, I did all new material. But people don't understand, and my fellow comics don't understand that it's all new material because I have a system I developed at the Comedy Store open mics every Sunday night in the early 2000s where I will, usually what I'll do with a set is write the key word to the punchline. And I have such a trained memory from Shakespeare and Duke Ellington and Mrs. Cosby. A great woman who I should talk about if I remember. gave me this incredible memory, because I can get off 8 pages in an hour if you need me to do that. It's an insane torture on your brain, but I can do it. So I'll write these keywords, and then I'll go to the audience with my new material, and I'll go, and people will be like, that wasn't new material because you didn't use a book. And I'll be like, well, my memory is that good. And I will study those jokes and go over the list until I get it down to bullet lines and go up. My friend Eric Marino, who writes for SNL, he used to write his set on his hands with his keywords. I don't want to say I thought it was great that he did that. I love Eric Marino. He did my Equal Rights Amendment show, and he slayed. So did Jay McBride. Now I'm off topic.
Now, so I just want to show you what I do, and this is what I've shown whenever a young comic talks to me. This is my water bottle. Let me do this. And on the back of my water bottle,
I'm doing that, man.
See, so this is what people see. They see this. I'll be on stage and I'll be like, okay, what's next? And I'll go, hey, wife doesn't fight fair. Okay.
Oh my goddess.
And then I'll sit it down. And like I said, since I like to do like 90-minute sets, 90-minute shows, I'll have like 3 bottles, because the most I can get is like 30 minutes worth of notes on the back. So I'll have 3 bottles, and even if the bottle's not empty, I'm like, okay, I'm done with that one. I'll get the next bottle, because they can't see what's inside. That's what, Yeah, so my notes are on the back. And that's what I tell.
I'm stealing that, bro. I'm going to use that. That will help me slow down.
And that's the other thing it's for pacing as well. And people, because one of the things I noticed when I first started doing comedy, if I didn't like using notes or anything like that. Right. And so sometimes I had a gesture that I would make when I was thinking. And then I realized, okay, if I ever become famous enough, people are going to see that gesture and know I'm reaching. And so I decided to work that gesture into just anything. Yeah. So I decided to work that into anyway, so that when people see the gesture, they can't tell if I'm reaching or.
Well done.
And I learned that from Jim Brown, not directly, but Jim Brown, when he played football, every time he got tackled, he'd get up and limp. And he said, and the reason why he did that is so they could never tell if he was ever hurt.
Nice.
So he was limping even when he was healthy.
Genius.
So
never let him see a sweat.
Right. So I developed that. I developed gestures so that people can't tell. That
gets back to my original Jackson 5 commandments. Thou shalt moonwalk and make it look easy.
Yes.
So that's a lovely, lovely tip. And GD, I've been getting into water. Like, oh my gosh, in the name of Baba Dick Gregory, amen, women. Like, water is such a sacred object, and it's so important to us as artists to keep our throat lubricated so we can do whatever voices we like.
Yeah.
Some of us have 3 octave ranges when we warm up.
Yeah.
And it's not respected enough in our society. But that's another thing that gets into seriousness, and we lose talking about me.
Hi, I'm GD Fenderson, certified forensic humorist and host of Done Way Past Funny. You've just watched part 1 of our interview with actress and comedian Alice Croydon. Please join us as we continue our interview, and bring a friend.